in an event that has left the sports world reeling. Professional boxer Terence "Bud" Crawford has taken home a resounding victory against the seemingly invincible Saul Canelo Alvarez. With the win, Crawford has cemented his status as the undisputed welterweight champion, further solidifying his position as one of the greatest boxers of our time. But it wasn't just the outcome of the match that had everyone talking. It was the way Crawford dominated the fight that truly stole the show. In a stunning display of skill and power, Crawford managed to drop the heavy favorite Alvarez an astonishing 4 times throughout the course of the bout, and it wasn't the kind of defeat that Alvarez has become accustomed to either. In fact, prior to this match, Alvarez had never lost any of his previous 58 professional fights. So what happened in Las Vegas that night? How did Crawford manage to not only beat Alvarez, but do it in such a spectacular fashion? Let's dive into the details and find out. From the moment the first bell rang, it was clear that this was going to be a different kind of fight. Crawford came out swinging, controlling the tempo and dictating the terms of engagement. On the other side of the ring, Alvarez seemed off his game, looking frustrated and unable to land a single solid punch. As the rounds wore on, Crawford's dominance only grew. He was faster, more accurate, and simply more powerful than his opponent. And then in the 4th round, it all came to a head. Just when it seemed like Alvarez might be able to turn the tables, Crawford landed a thunderous right hand that sent the Mexican superstar crashing to the canvas. The crowd went wild, and for a moment, it felt like the impossible had just happened. But it was only the beginning. And while this was going on, fans in the stands were in a state of utter disbelief. Some were covering their mouths in shock, while others were filming the spectacle on their phones, sharing the jaw-dropping moment with the world via social media. As the replay of the knockout echoed around the arena, fans took to Twitter, posting messages like, "Holy cow, I can't believe it. Hashtag Canelo just got knocked out," along with several shocked face emojis. Meanwhile, on Instagram, the commentary was just as fervent. One user exclaimed, "What just happened?" But Crawford just knocked out Canelo Alvarez. I am in shock. And on TikTok, the video of the knockout was viewed over 2 million times in just the first hour after the fight. With one user commenting, "I'm still in shock. Canelo got knocked out." No way! The unanimous decision win brought Crawford's record to a stellar 39 wins and 0 losses, cementing his status as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. But it was the way he achieved the victory that truly set this match apart from all the others. The story of how Terence "Bud" Crawford became the undefeated boxing champ is one that's equal parts grit, determination, and raw talent. Born in Omaha, Nebraska, Crawford's journey to the top of the boxing world began at a young age. Growing up, Crawford was exposed to boxing early on. His father, who worked as a corrections officer, also trained fighters on the side, and he recognized his son's natural athleticism and discipline, encouraging him to take up the sport. Despite coming from humble beginnings and facing his share of obstacles, Crawford never wavered in his dedication to boxing. He honed his skills in the ring, learning from his father and a host of other trainers. But it was his natural talent and sheer determination that truly set him apart. As a teenager, Crawford's amateur record soared to 174 wins and only 2 losses. But it was his professional career that would solidify his place in boxing history. After turning pro in 2012, Crawford wasted no time in making a name for himself. He won his first 8 fights by knockout, showcasing his explosive power and technical prowess. However, it was his subsequent victories that truly set him apart. In 2017, Crawford faced off against Filipino boxer Manny Pacquiao in what was considered an upset of the year. Despite being the underdog, Crawford put on a clinic, dominating Pacquiao and winning by unanimous decision. This victory not only catapulted Crawford into the spotlight, but also established him as a force to be reckoned with in the boxing world. But Crawford's journey to the top wasn't without its challenges. In 2019, he found himself at a crossroads when he was stripped of his WBO super lightweight title due to a weight issue. However, Crawford responded to the setback with resilience, bouncing back and reclaiming the title in a rematch later that year. Since then, Crawford has continued to dominate the welterweight division, defending his titles successfully and racking up an impressive 17 straight wins. but it was his victory over Canelo Alvarez that truly solidified his status as one of the greatest boxers of our time. On the other side of the ring was the legendary Saul Canelo Alvarez, widely regarded as one of the best boxers of his generation. Alvarez had a reputation for his aggressive fighting style and powerful punches, having won numerous world titles in 5 different weight divisions. However, despite his impressive record, Alvarez had never fought a welterweight as skilled and unorthodox as Terence Crawford. From the outset, it was clear that this was going to be a tough challenge for Alvarez. Crawford's unique fighting style and unorthodox movement patterns threw Alvarez's off balance, making it difficult for him to land his signature power punches. Crawford, on the other hand, was in his element, using his lightning-fast reflexes and pinpoint accuracy to land jab after jab on Alvarez. The crowd was on its feet, roaring with excitement as the two boxers traded blows in the center of the ring. But it was in the 4th round that the tide of the match turned decisively in Crawford's favor. As Alvarez came out swinging, looking to make a comeback, Crawford slipped a wild hook and stepped inside, unleashing a thunderous right hand that connected squarely with Alvarez's chin. The impact sent shockwaves through the arena, literally freezing fans in their seats. For a moment, time seemed to slow down as Alvarez crashed to the canvas, his eyes glazed over in disbelief. The crowd was stunned into a deathly silence, the only sound of the thud of Alvarez's body hitting the mat. It was a knockout blow, a technical marvel that showcased the power and precision Crawford had honed over years of training and dedication. The referee rushed to Alvarez's side, beginning the count as medical staff scrambled to attend to the fallen boxer. But it was clear that there was no hope of a recovery. Alvarez was out cold. The fight was stopped, and Crawford was declared the winner. In the aftermath of the match, the reasons for Alvarez's defeat were dissected by boxing experts and fans alike. Some pointed to Alvarez's lack of experience at welterweight, while others argued that Crawford's unorthodox style was simply too much for the Mexican superstar to handle. But there was no denying that Crawford had emerged victorious, cementing his place in boxing history as the man who took down the seemingly invincible Canelo Alvarez. Now, if you're a boxing enthusiast or just a fan of incredible knockouts, we've got some more videos you might enjoy. From epic upsets to jaw-dropping finishes, these matches will leave you on the edge of your seat. So click on the link and get ready to witness some of the greatest knockouts in boxing history.